welcome to MeatballCraft, episode 31. Today we've got lots to be getting on with. I would like to do some preparations for making the molten salt reactor, and that's going to lead us on some very, very big tangents. I also have a confession. I know I just made the stellar armor. I kind of want this armor instead, the Mythic armor. It can be super enchanted, but I think the enchants of the stellar armor are probably more so and better apart from the magic protection, so we just need to make the actual armor and switch them over. Very little tricky. It requires a lot of infusion, so that's why I didn't make them originally, because it's like, can I be bothered to do this? But I think they look cool. Plus it's like 100% luck. The armor's probably slightly worse, but I mean, we can always go back to the stellar one if we don't like it. So, and I quite like collecting the armors, it's fun. A fair bit of time later, and we are now kitted out in full Mythic armor. There are a few drawbacks to this armor. For one, I can't put airtight seal on. For two, I can't put night vision on it. We also had a bit of a problem transferring the enchantments from the stellar armor to this one. Because of all the conflicting protection, we had to use the masked enchanting ritual from MeatballCraft, which is fine, but it means all the 16s went down to 15s, which is negligible really. But it also meant that we could only put 8 things on that were conflicting rather than 9, and there were 9 things. So 2 of these will have shock protection and the other 2 have frost protection instead, just to even it out. So I mean, it really should be fine. Plus it looks a lot cooler. It gives you a V discount. It gives me some more health. It gives me some more luck and some flight speed and stuff. So I think it's fine. Worst case scenario, we can re-enchant the stellar armor. It's not like it was that expensive. And I don't know, I just think this one looks a little bit more fun. And it's purple. So now there's a couple things you could do next. One that's probably quite useful is to set up a plasmatic condenser to be able to make myrmidonite, which I would like to do. However, I want to do this, it looks more fun. So we need to find a bejeweled banner in Vox Ponds, the worst dimension, but it's alright, and craft the gem of gluttony with it to be able to get this gem of veracity, which is apparently a core stone. I don't know what it does, but it could be fun. And then we get this stone of endless hunger, which is used to make a slate of endless hunger, which makes other things in the future. Probably nothing that we really need as of this very moment, but something fun nonetheless. So I thought, why not give that a go? I'd also quite like to do this if we're able, though this does mean that we will have to fix the Dragonfire Crucible, which I've been putting off. But we'll see. I was going to do some of the Britannia stuff. I mean, there's like a couple bits left here with a wolf who I know is evil. But that means I'll have to fight the tier 3 Gaia Guardian again, and I don't really want to do that, to be quite honest. So let's just give things a go. I found the Candyland banner here. I assume I have to make it bejeweled myself. I assume this is the right one, so I think I can copy it with the eggs. Oh, heraldy eggs. Heraldy chicken. Oh, I don't have that. Bejeweled void banner. Do we have the heraldy bee? Oh no, I have to breed that. Oh dear, I don't want to do that. Well, I think it says I can also trade it. Undead Herald and Candyland, so maybe let's just go to Candyland instead. We are in fact going to do some bee breeding. I'm not quite sure where the Undead Herald comes from, but I can't be bothered to find him. He seems to just be some guy who walks about, and from the sounds of it, you have to do lots of trading, so we might as well get this bee. I'm sure it's going to be useful in the future. Plus, I kind of want the egg, and we can't get the egg for a while because we need to go to Appalachia, but what can we do? This will do for now. I forgot I got the improved Torturino from Apacheesy, and it makes bee breeding so much better. I'm so annoyed that I only remembered to use it right near the end, but whatever. Got it now. Our only problem now is you can't actually give it enough power to run. I've even just put a flux plug on it. It will only take 1,000 RF per tick. I don't know what speed it can actually maintain the power. 900, but why not just have it on full? We're still getting tons of these heraldy combs. We need quite a lot to get enough to make the banner that we want, I think. So yeah, we need gilded, then encrusted, and then bejeweled, and then we'll have it. I'll keep doing that until we get there, but oh my goodness, I'm so glad I remember this Torturino. A little bit of time later, a lot less than it could have been thanks to the Torturino, we now have the ability to make the bejeweled candy banner, and we should, if we combine that with the gem of gluttony, get the gem of veracity. Oh, we did it. So it says to use, so I'm going to go over to our classic moving place. I'm also going to turn that off. I think it's off just because I don't want it to cause some sort of lag, but we'll leave the bee running and we'll see if this works in the overworld. Right, so I've come over here. I got to be in the right dimension, and Vox Ponds will tell me which one. I'm trying to think if there was a clue when we were in Vox Ponds before, but I mean, it was the Candyland banner. Do you think it's bad to assume it's Candyland? I've come to Candyland. Right. I don't know if that means I need to be in Candyland and have changed the ground or not, so that's a bit confusing. I think it's Ominous Woods. I remember looking at Ominous Woods, so I assume it's Ominous Woods in Candyland. So I've got my terraformer and we should be good. Just need to transform a large area. Let's hopefully go somewhere a bit less hostile. To set up the terraformer, we just needed a dehumidifier and a heater. Definitely the dehumidifier more than anything else. I don't really know if we needed to be in Candyland to make this the Ominous Woods, but whatever. Hopefully this is correct. I think it must be correct really, because I found the Ominous Woods biome thing in Box Pond, so I can't imagine what else it would be. Let's give it a go now. No, still not big enough, I don't think. No, I did have a sneaky look at the solution for this. This is apparently the wrong biome, even though I found it in Fox Ponds. It's a mesa apparently, so I'm going to turn this off and then I'll go find the correct biome marker. Well, this chest says Mesa Bryce, so we better go find a Mesa Bryce, I guess, in the overworld. So, better start searching. According to the Nature's Compass, the Mesa Bryce is quite far away, so that's going to be fun. Oh, this is the Mesa Bryce apparently. I assume it's these like sticking up bits of terracotta, but now have it on our biomarker and we can go back to Candyland. Okay, it's been a little while, so let's give this a go. Oh, what do you mean we've hit 94%? I did this. Oh, here we go. We did it. And I got the Ferocious Beast Coalstone. I don't know where we need to use this. Oi. Oh, of course. I hate oi. For some reason, I can put airtight seal on my armor with an anvil, just not with the enchantment applicator, which is a bit strange, but does make our life a little bit easier. And we have to go to oi. We have made it to oi, and we have the coalstone. Oh. Oi structure big worm boss. Interesting. That doesn't sound ominous at all. Big worm boss. Okay, there's a button there. I assume that summons the big worm boss. Why are there random skeletons in here? Punished gluttons. Oh, I guess they're in a prison? Worm boss. Well, I can capture him, potentially. Beep. That didn't spawn a big worm boss. Interesting. Oh, there's a button inside. Oh, maybe that was the reset button and the... what's it called? Signs aren't here. Let me try an ender pearl in then. Okay, here we are. I assume this will spawn the worm boss? Oh, hello, worm boss. Well, oh my goodness, he's going to keep spawning bad things, I see. Right, well, I'll get him killed. Good thing the Kokoku does so much damage. Thanks to the amazing Kokoku, that was incredibly easy. It took like very few hits, and now we have the Stone of Endless Hunger, which is what we wanted, I think. Oh, but it didn't count the Gem of Ferocity because I had to relog between these. What does this do? Interesting. So I probably just cheat that in just to get the quest because I did just have it. There is also a Wildwood Coalstone that we haven't done, so I need to collect some Wildwood souls and then let's give that a go. I've got all the stones to make the Wildwood Coalstone, so we should be able to use it. I don't know if I can use it here. It would make sense, but oh, I can. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of Irakos and other nonsenses and spawners. Perfect. Well, it's best probably to get rid of these before we do anything else. Oh my goodness. Yes, definitely a good idea to get rid of these. Hopefully this is all of them and they're not just like gonna keep spawning. That'll do. Then there's lots of Irakos to attend to. How are you with the Kokoku, guys? If I can ever hit them? Oh, this is going to take a while. I ended up inside somehow. It just kind of got pushed in. And I got the refined gem, but I think there's some other things here, so I'll keep looking. There's a few pet spawn eggs, but that's all there is. I don't know. I'll probably take these anyway and not use them. But we got the refined gem. Oh, that's another thing ticked off. I've gone ahead and I've set up another plasmatic condenser over here. That's where the other one is. It's the same building. I copy-paste gadgeted it. It's mostly worked completely well, apart from there's a little bit missing on this side, but I'll fix that later. So it's just the same as the other one. We've got the thingy on the top, the controller on the top, making the plasma. It's got a very awkward ender fluid conduit going all the way down into this one. I am going to put some of these on here. There we go, so that should hopefully speed things up a little bit. This is to make Murmanite only. So over here we have a ender chest which provides us with chitin. We have an EMC link that provides us with deep blue matter and another that does lightning wood saplings, and this goes in here. There's a limited item filter. I'm gonna put some extract speed on here just because it's a little slow. And this produces us Murmanite, which goes and gets processed where the Southernite would be. There's also Ogrite, which we should probably put on in auto crafting, but this is putting me off. Firstly, we need to automate octactic capacitors to be able to make this, which was probably fine really, but seems just a little annoying to do. The Wildwood Hearts, we would need to probably put the Termisect onto a root machine, which we can do. We have got that. This Pixonia infusion key we've got, so we just need a crafter to be able to make these. And then we need the inferior infusion stone, which is the tricky part, because to make this we need vibranium, which is fine, but also lymph of Pixonia. And to get the lymph of Pixonia, we need to get into molten salt fission and use primal ogreite or vital lymph. Primal ogreite we've pretty much sorted out apart from the actual ogreite supply. We've got the fine mineral dust automated, we just need molten ogreite, and then we've got that, and we can just put this in a molten salt reactor, which I've never built before. And eventually, once we have primal ogreite, we can mix it with twilight matter, which is easy to make. It's just these fragments in a magma crucible, depending on what fragment you get more, and fossil refined fuel, which is probably another little rabbit hole. Yeah, so this is like so I've done this process before in Divine Journey, so that actually would be fine with some Draco. So we have got a space set up for this. It is probably worth setting this up originally. I think it would probably be better to set this up originally. I don't know why Primal Ogreite has to be a pain in the bottom to make, but if we can set up a system, I think this will probably be best, because to actually make the vital lymph, or the lymph of Pixonia, it's 1-to-1 for each, but obviously this is one. Okay, it's not quite 1-to-1 to each. Vital lymph gets us 1,000. This is a 1-to-1. Yeah, this is a 1 to like 20. So this is definitely better. This makes me feel though as if we should have to do this first and then this one, but I don't see why we can't do this first with a little bit of tricking. I don't know how much vital lymph of Pixonia we'll actually need. We'll need it automated anyway for the Borean. Oh right, this is like the next one of the, well, I don't know if that's next, but it's quite vital for a lot of things. So yeah, we'll get that automated at some point. Before we start, we are going to have to fix our Dragonfire Crucible and our Dragonfire Forge, because we need fiery Rhenium. And to get fiery Rhenium, we need to put a fiery unguent bottle and Rhenium in a Dragonfire Crucible, and that is to make the fission vessel, and I'm assuming it's probably for other things as well. Ooh, and there's also this, which I don't know how to get. Okay, that seems easy enough. We do not have the Mythmonite scythe though, so I guess that's another thing that we're probably going to have to do to begin with as well. If I'm just going to briefly explain how these work from what I've gathered. So this is like the chamber. It's just a cube. You can make this as long as you want. I'll probably just make it 1 wide for now, because I'm not quite sure how this works, but I think that's the case. And we have a port on all of these sides, and those ports are meant to be like linked up to something like this. So this is for the lymph of Pixonia salt reactor, the safe variety. So these match up pretty evenly, or I think they do match up exactly, so I assume this is how it works. So then when you have this, you set one side to input, so let's say the left side's all input and the right side's all output. You input all the fluids, one in each hole, and then output from the other side the depleted hot coolant, etc, etc, etc. I think that's how it works. Not all of them are coolant, some of them are vessels. So for example, this one's the ogreite or vital lymph vessel in these two, so that's where you pump in the primal ogreite, and everything else such as the cryofume NA coolers, you pump in the eutectic NAK stuff, or the eutectic redstone mixture, or raw, or whatever it wants. We already have a production of this, so we can just siphon off that, and hopefully we'll have enough to be able to set this up. I think it can melt down, so hopefully the redstone's fairly easy, but I think that's how it works. So I assume you can tile it along, so you could just have a long load of these in a line. For example, in the 7 by this one, you'd have probably like 5 slices going along. I think that's just how it works. It looks complicated, but I think it's not too complicated. I think the main problem is having all the fluids that you want to be able to actually pump it in. But we'll get to that in quite a while. We do still need to do all the things I just said, plus set up actual vital lymph production. This will be important to actually have going as well, because it's got a few steps. But I think overall it shouldn't be too bad. As a quick update, we are getting quite a lot of Mermanite already, which is perfect. We will need this for lots of things in the future, and it's important to set up a system for it. I have got a quarry looking for Ogreite. We have not found any so far. I don't know if the chunk loading's not working or what, but yes, we're not getting any Ogreite, so that's why we have to set up this very long, drawn-out process. I have now set up the Dragonfire Crucible and Forge in a new location. Fun fact, you can mix and match the cores on the top, so you don't have to have all of the same, so I think this looks pretty cool. I like the purple. I think that looks nice. So we just have the crucible on the bottom and the forge on the top. It's still making us the same thing. This one's been upgraded with a Mythmonite forge so that we get 8 times output, and we're still using the cheapest recipe. We don't use a lot of I don't think we use enough of this to ever need more than what we're making at the moment, at least. I mean, I've had this on the one that produces 10 millibuckets the whole time, and we've got over 1 million. And down here we have the actual crucible, all the automations back up and running. I think it looks nice. I didn't didn't want to put it in one of the same old buildings because they're a bit of a unique shape, and I think they look much nicer now, so I wanted to put them in like an outside sort of 4G area. So I think that looks nice. I will build the path up to it at some point. But yes, now we have that. I completely forgot what we actually even need it for, to be honest. We need it to make the fiery rhenium. Perfect. So we can get on with that as well. And all the other stuff that we'll need to do. So we had a bit of a problem. Oh dear. Beautiful, lovely taint problem. And that is because I accidentally emptied one of the jars when I was trying to improve the formcraft room. What a mistake I have made. Now there is taint everywhere. Oh my goodness, it's pretty far flung. Wait, yes, this is what I did. I changed everything to mithrilium or mithmanite jars and just had one jar for everything. I put them mostly in like a nice rainbow, though I have some that I missed, so they're just going on the wall. And yeah, I think it looks pretty nice, apart from this taint, because I was shift right clicking the labels off the jars, and apparently sometimes you just accidentally empty them, and I think I emptied a full jar, so about 1,000 essence, which created a thing and now has caused many gooey patches, but it's fine. It's not too bad of a cleanup job. I've made the mithmanite scythe, and this is the thing that will get us the bismuth clusters. I'm not sure how many we'll need for the vessels. I don't think we'll need that many. I think we only need 2 vessels at the moment, if we look at this. Everything else is a cooler, and we don't need it of that. So, gleaming. Yeah, there's going to be some not as fun things coming up, I think. If we're looking at this, I think we'll need to make another multi-block to be able to get these gleaming infusion stones, which takes 8 mythic machine cases and 3 infusion catalysts. I don't know if I even have enough whatever the thing's called to do this. So maybe I'm going to have to grind out my infusion collection. I got my infusion skill high enough from draining pixins and then using skill crystals. I should now have enough to be able to make what we want. So if I chuck them all in there, this is the right machine. Illuminated Enchanter. No, it's the one upstairs. This one? Yes. So if I chuck these in, we should get our thing that we want. Is there anything that speeds us up? No, this is just slow. Okay, well, we'll have what we want. We do still need mistite blocks, which is fine, and the mythic machine casings. But apart from that, we should be good. And this is I think it's quite a small, yeah, it's only a little tiny machine. So I'm not quite sure where to put it. I don't know if I really want to use one of the big rooms for such a small thing. So, oh look, here's a space. We can put it up here. I've probably gone a bit overboard, but we should have everything to make some of the gleaming infusion stones. Is this a slow machine? It's not too slow, so that's fine. So yeah, that's one of the tangents done. Ikakoku kills the Guardian of Gaia tier 2 so quickly. I'm just doing it to grind out some Gaia spirits. One hit and I get like 16 each time. It's amazing. After fighting the second tier Guardian of Gaia, I think 32 times, I've done pretty well out of it. I turned all the dice into these bags that you can get. So if you just put the dice in a crafting table, you get reward bags, and they can give you lots of the other different war bags, but also Gaia Spirits, Terra Steel, and challenge tickets, and also occasionally the Medal for Heroism. I mean, now we didn't get the Medal for Heroism from that, but we did get it from one of the tier 3 bags, the dry bags, these ones, which is pretty good considering. We do need it for a couple things, including the Botanical Dreamstone, and there was something else that I've been wanting it for. The Lesser Mana Core, I think. So that's nice not have to fight the tier 3 Guardian of Gaia occasionally, but we've got 400 Gaia Spirits, some challenge tickets for when we do need to do that again, greater Gaia Spirits, so I mean, we've done pretty well. We've got lots of petals too. So I'm pretty pleased with the haul, and it was actually just worth killing it, because these are expensive to make. You might as well just kill the Guardian of Gaia a few times. I've set up a little system here to make boron arsenide, as we need it to make the salt controller. I don't actually know what else we need it for. Solar panels, thermoconducting alloys, specifically. Oh, this is a singularity. Yeah, so I mean, this is a good thing to have automated. It's very simple. Boron's got EMC, so it gets melted here. We're making arsenic from... oh, is that meant to be in here? I'm not sure. But we're making arsenic from andesite in the rock crusher. This just comes from the chest into another melter. Chemical reactor mixes it to make both boron arsenide. Ingot former, boron arsenide is made. Simple. We are playing the tangent game again. And that is because we need something very annoying to be able to make molten salt reactor frames, and that is shadow steel. And the only way to get shadow steel is either through a blast furnace with shadow bars, which is incredibly slow and we need quite a lot of it, or with the Mythic processor. So therefore I want to make a Mythic processor. And to make a Mythic processor for this is how we make it. We'll need both draconium electromagnets and a Mythic coil. Draconium electromagnets are completely fine, we can make them nice and easily. Mythic coil is a little bit more tricky. We technically could make the second Mythic coil, and we might, but the tier 1 Mythic coil is where we need at the moment. So most of it I think we can achieve pretty much. We don't have the imperfect neutronium nuggets yet, but that's just an ultimate nugget with some neutron fluid which we're already making from the fusion reactor. So that's not too bad. We will need to set that up a bit better for that. Everything else you can make, but we need a supply of depleted HEA242 fuel. And while we are making HEA242 fuel, we are making it very slowly. So because of this, I want to build another TBU reactor so we can just produce a lot of the americium, which I think comes from the depleted HEA, then LEA comes from, well, it comes from this line. We have the TBU fuel, which leads to the Neptunian one, which leads to the HEA one. So we'll get there eventually, but we do need to have a better supply of the TBU fuel to be able to actually get up this processing line. Therefore, we are making a interior size 9x9x9 TBU reactor. So we're just making that at the moment, which is not going to be too difficult. So once we have that, hopefully it will speed up the production. I have been using the website lieu-235.com and I have optimized it for breeding, which is maximize fuel consumption. So hopefully this reactor will be able to produce us enough fuel products to go through. We might have to upgrade the next reactor along as well, but we'll see. Reactors have been expanded. I've left the original TBU one here, but we now have a sort of junky, massive 9x9 interior one for TBU fuel. And like I said, because it is specifically made to process fuels fast, it's really quick. Plus it's producing us quite a lot of RF per tick and it's not heating up at all, so perfect. This is exactly what we want. Again, we still have another bottleneck, and it's this reactor over here, which is using the LEN fuel, which is what we need to make the HEA. So that is still quite slow. I will probably make a bigger one in the future. I mean, I probably would need a bigger one for all of these in the future. And we'll get to it. I'll build up the TBU line above this one, for example. They're going to be quite large. But we already have 5 depleted HEA fuel, so just being able to bump up the production for this one is enough. That's enough for one Mythic machine coil, which is all we need at the moment. I would like a few more, don't get me wrong, but I mean, if this is the speed we get to that, it's the speed we get to that. Yeah, because to make the tier 2 Mythic coil, I need 3 of these, which means I need 12. So, not a big deal. I think the main problem is just how slow making the empowered or enchanted gravitite stuff is for the reactors. It's, yeah, this stuff, the empowered gravitite, this is really slow. So as soon as you get the Mythic empower, that would be good. These are all like very similar, all the Mythic processes. You kind of just switch out this block. So if you get one Mythic coil, you can temporarily just switch out this middle block for things that we need. So technically we're just making the furnace one at the moment, but I mean that could definitely just, you know, switch out for the energetic infuser or empower or whatever. This is the energetic infuser, and easy peasy, we can empower some stuff super fast and make some more of these. I've also gone ahead and made a Terra Shatterer. It's only S rank, not double S, but we'll get there eventually. And this is to mine salt for this, because it runs out of salt pretty fast. And we do need quite a lot of eutectic NAK alloy in the future. I will actually set up a drum buffer as well for this so that we make sure we've got plenty. Let's test out the Terra Shatterer. It has fortune 15 and efficiency 15. Oh my god, it's fast. I don't know how to expand the radius on it. However, I need to find that out. Okay, you should right click and oh my god, I've got this dank, oh my god, it's gonna crash the game. This item collector on that should collect some of the salt, so it's only got so big of a radius, mind you, so oh my goodness. Well, that's pretty impressive. Oh no, I've broken it. Oh well. Well, it may have eaten up pretty much all the mana in my mana band, but from about 4,000 ore, we got 258,000 salt. So I think we're pretty good for now. So I'll take this with me and I'll connect this, I think, to this. And we should be pretty good on salt from now on. You know what? I've changed my mind. For the first Mythic machine we are going to make the Empowerer, and that's because the bottleneck, I feel, is the HEA fuel. Maybe it's not, but I think it is. I mean, yeah, this isn't great, but that will probably end up being the bottleneck after this, and obviously these are a bit of a pain to craft as well. But this is the stuff that we kind of need quite a lot of. So I think it's important if we can get the Empowerer sorted out so that we can make the fusion reaction casings much more easily. So we're going to set that up instead and then hopefully tear down this thing. And here it is, our first Mythic processor for the Empowerer. I have just put it right here. I'm leaving this just for now in case this doesn't work properly and we have to go back. I don't want to remake all of that. But we've just set up the chest, which is normally from the auto crafting. It says to use the AME one if you're doing auto crafting, but I think that means if you're connecting the interface to the machine. So if we do it for ender chest, I think it works like this. So we'll give it a go, and I will craft some more fission casings just to upgrade the other reactor, the LEN236 fuel. I think it's that one. Oh, compared to the other thing, this is working hilariously fast. It is almost quite mad how fast this is working compared to the normal Empowerer. This should hopefully really help with the bottleneck on making the fission casings. Most definitely was the empowered gravitite. I mean, it's still a tiny little bit slow, just because we're actually waiting for the enchanted gravitite to be crafted. But apart from that, this is way faster than it was. It's much better. I'm very glad you decided to make that. We still do need to make the furnace one, but I think it's important, because we'll be using quite a lot of these, to have the infrastructure in place to make these as much as possible. Technically, we've not perfected this either yet. This is obviously a better way to make it. I'm making cursed mermanite. I think there was a recipe for the bucket. Yeah, so this is slightly better than it was because we've got mermanite now auto crafting pretty much on passive. Yeah, we got 9,000. Still got no more ogreite from the miner I set up. It's fine, I did use 4 making some ultimate ingots before, but we're getting there. We will need a lot of shadow steel, so you know, it's gonna be worth it in the end to have this sort of stuff automated. I think I've found a sneaky puzzle for us to do, and that is to do with the apothecary stone, which we found in Iron Mine. This puzzle is that we have to combine this with 4 of the right dusts, and that the wildwood will guide us. Well, those are the things we found in the wildwood with those mushrooms, so I assume if I combine them... No, are they not the right dusts? Yeah, combine the empowered apothecary stone. I don't think we've empowered it. Oh, we haven't empowered it. Okay, maybe this puzzle will still work. So to make these, we need Pixons from Lelyetia and Pixons from Mysterium. So I'll go do that. You know what, we can't do this. It would require a lot of blowing power stones. We have to have a level 80 infusion to be able to right click these on the infusion table, and we just can't do that. So we're gonna have to not do that for now. I'm only level 30 something infusion, so it would take quite a while to get up high enough to actually be able to achieve this goal and get this, which will get us the apothecary comb, which will probably be very useful in the future. But we'll see. Have I been busy? Well, the answer is yes, incredibly busy. I have been off camera making lots of mythic processors, one for each type, though I think we can only build 15 of the 16, and they live over here. We may need more of these in the future, but so far we have quite a few up and running. We have a lot of tier 1 mythic coils. We can upgrade these eventually, but right now tier 1 should be fine. They're pretty fast. So we have these for all the machines that are available. Some of them are not done. For example, this resonator needs a creative mill, which I actually can make. I did think for quite a while I couldn't make it. I had to get some bees for this, but we figured that out. And the creative essence, I thought, oh, I can't get the creative essence because it's on Luna. Luna's the first place we went, it's the moon. So I need to go back to Luna and actually find this, and then we can make the creative mill for the resonator. This one we should be able to make eventually, but I didn't realize this one, if you actually look at the recipe, requires awakened draconium electromagnets over just a normal electromagnets. So I can fix that in a minute. I was just waiting for the rest of the mythic coils to finish before we do that. This one's should be done, but I just haven't got the electrolyzer out the system, and this one we can't make. It also requires the awakened draconian magnets, but we also need a muon extractor, and we can't do this right now. so we'll just leave a gap for it. But yeah, they're almost all set up. This took a long time. I think I don't have the optimal recipes in the system, so that's a bit of a problem. But now this is all done, all our autocrafting should be way faster. We're just connecting it with ender chests like so. This is the empowerer, I think. So from Actually Editions, it's incredibly fast. So I've just done it like this with ender chests, and I will be doing it for the rest of them with ender chests as well. I've been doing some setup. Everyone's now connected to an ender chest. Some of them are connected to the auto crafting system, so anything such as the furnace and the pulverizer induction furnace have all been set up, and the compactor as well as a couple others, just so that we can craft faster. And we're going to do a test by making the draconium electromagnet coils for the rolling machine Mythic assembler, just to see how fast it is. So we need 16 awakened electromagnets. We should be able to craft them, and let's see how fast it goes. I have still got a torturino downstairs, so that will speed up some of the things. But in terms of crafting wire, that's very fast. Oh yeah, the wires for these, they're very, very fast. Yeah, the plates are so fast you can hardly even see them appear on the screen. I think, yeah, if there's any slowness, it's because I've actually just remembered I forgot to put the extract speed upgrades that I made in the system. So that'll be the bottleneck if there is actually a problem. It's my fault. So that was a really good stress test, but whatever, I'm sure it's working fine. Oh dear, how did I forget that? Like, oh, let's stress test the system and then not even demonstrate its full capability. Oh well, let's just pretend it was really, really fast, guys. Okay, it didn't take that long to craft, but it did because you can't make charcoal in the furnace mythical processor thing, so I just added it to the EMC link. But now we have these, which should go for the rolling machine, which will help a lot because rolling machines are very hard to automate otherwise. So now we have a beautiful rolling machine. So I'll set this one up, and yeah, we're done with the mythic processes. And this is all to speed up the rate of which we can make the shadow steel to make the salt reactors, which is the next goal now we've done this massive tangent. However, that's going to have to wait until the next episode, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.